What's going on, everybody? I hope you're enjoying your Thursday afternoon so far. This is NYG Jeffy T85 here, and the New York Giants have already added or re-signed and added a couple of wide receivers this past offseason. They've already brought back Sterling Shepard on a one-year, $1.3 million deal, and then late last night they signed former New York Jets wide receiver Jeff Smith. Well, today the New York Giants took a step forward in really trying to help improve their wide receiver core going into 2023, as they have officially agreed to terms with former Indianapolis Colts wide receiver Parris Campbell. Now, Parris Campbell's been in the NFL since he was drafted back in 2019 in the second round back at pick 59. And he's obviously drafted out of Ohio State. Campbell's been in the league for the past 4 years. The only problem with Campbell, you could really say, has been health. That's been the biggest issue with Parris Campbell. He's about 6 foot, 208 pounds, so he's a little bit of a bigger wide receiver than a lot of people would figure immediately. And Campbell has been in the league for at least 4 years with the Indianapolis Colts. His best season was this past season in 2022, where he played in all 17 games, where he started all 16 games, started 16 of the 17 games. He recorded 63 receptions for 623 yards at a 9.9 yards per catch rate. He had 49 yards was his long with 3 touchdowns. He also rushed 5 times for 58 yards and 11.6 yards per carry rate. With his long being 28 yards, he did fumble the ball once on a rush, and he had no touchdowns. What you get from Parris Campbell is simple: speed. Speed, agility, good route running. He's always been a talented player, ever since he came out of Ohio State back in 2019. Parris Campbell has always been a very talented wide receiver. The biggest issues with Campbell has been health. The fact of the matter is, before this past season, Campbell only played in a total of 15 games in his career. 2019, he only played in 7 games. I believe he tore his ACL that year. 2020, he ended up having another severe injury, which only had him play 2 games that year. And then last year, in 2021, he only played in 6 games. That's been the biggest issue with Parris Campbell, is just keeping him on the football field. But he's another dynamic wide receiver that is going to be able to add some more muscle and more ability to this New York Giants wide receiver core. And now you mix him in already with an Isaiah Hodgins, a Sterling Shepard, a Wan'Dale Robinson, and now you have a Jeff Smith at the back, and you got Darren Waller and Daniel Bellinger as well. The Giants' positional group looks a lot better than they did at the beginning of the season. So because you're already adding 2 dynamic weapons to this offense with Parris Campbell at the wide receiver core, and then, of course, you also got Darren Waller at tight end. It might open up things for the New York Giants in terms of what positions they'll be targeting in the draft, even though I still believe that they're going to be targeting another wide receiver in the NFL draft because of the fact that Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Colin Johnson are all coming off injuries right now. But you figure when the season starts, if health is permitted, you have right now a starting wide receiver core of Parris Campbell, Sterling Shepard, and Isaiah Hodgins going into the beginning of the season, which is better than what you got last year. And this pretty much, unless the Giants come to an agreement with Darius Slayton, this pretty much is going to be the end of Darius Slayton's tenure with the New York Giants after they brought back Sterling Shepard, they brought back Isaiah Hodgins, and now they have signed Jeff Smith, and today they've signed Parris Campbell. So I like the move. I've always liked Parris Campbell ever since he came out of college. I just think the only thing I worry about Parris Campbell is injuries. The only thing I worry about Parris Campbell is trying to keep him healthy on the season. That's the one thing about Parris Campbell I worry about. But at the same time, the kid is good. He's a talented wide receiver, very good route runner, bigger for a wide receiver if you think about it. I mean, he's over 200 pounds, even though he is only 6 foot tall. But either way, he's a guy that you could really mix and mash with. He's a guy that you can really take advantage of his skill sets on the outside, or he could play in the slot. That's the good thing about him. And even according to Art Stapleton, Giants wide receiver coach Mike Roll on Parris Campbell while they were together in Indy. He said he's a threat at all levels, and he's somebody you can get the ball into their hands very quickly, and he's very dynamic with the ball in his hands and can make people miss, break tackles, and he's got a vision as a runner. He's a dynamic playmaker all around the field. Slot, outside, backfield, wherever you could put him, he could take advantage of it with his speed and pure route running. And now you're starting to get more depth at this wide receiver position. You think about it now. At the moment, you have Colin Johnson, Parris Campbell, Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Isaiah Hodgins. And I have no doubt in my mind that they will continue to add more depth to this wide receiver position. And Jeff Smith. So they have 6 wide receivers right now currently on the roster. I expect them to add at least 2 or 3 more wide receivers to this positional group and have them all compete and battle it out. And because of the fact that I believe Robinson will probably start the season on the PUP or the short-term IR, and maybe even Shepard too. So that's going to allow other guys to have a chance to win out positions in this wide receiver core going forward. But either way, this is a good deal. Getting Parris Campbell. So I like the fact that they're going to be bringing in Parris Campbell going forward. He's a good fit. So we're going to have to wait and see how much the deal is exactly. I'm still waiting to see how much the New York Giants are signing Parris Campbell. And he is a former Buckeye, as we all know. Buckeyes are good players. The Ohio State knows how to bring in good wide receivers. This kid is good. He's talented. So I'm very happy with this decision to bring in a guy like Parris Campbell. Just have to keep him on the football field, but he is a good football player. They said he's over 200 pounds. Over 200-pound wide receiver. Almost 210. He's got a Hakeem Nicks build in a way. 208, 210 pounds, 6 foot, sort of like what Hakeem Nicks had. Breaks tackles, can get in the open field, be able to take the ball deep. He's a solid route runner. You just got to keep this dude healthy. But if you can, this is a guy that can be a potential good wide receiver too. I don't know about a wide receiver 1, but he's a dynamic player. And either way, welcome to the New York Football Giants, Parris Campbell. So if you guys like this video, please hit the like button below. If you turn on the bell for notifications, the next video or short dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Giants, as well as hit that like button if you haven't already. And let me know in the comment section what you think about Parris Campbell being signed by the New York Football Giants and the type of impact he's going to make for the New York Giants going forward. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Take it easy and let's go New York Football Giants. Together Blue, everyone.